And we're finally here, folks. Cheers. It's the Q&A versus Q&A 2025, February 2025 to be precise. And as always, I have an adult beverage with me. If you'd like to know what this one is, it's in a mule cup, which normally you'd make a Moscow Mule or a variant of. Moscow Mule is about equal parts lime juice, vodka, and then topped off with ginger beer, usually. I didn't have ginger beer, nor I'm out of vodka right now, so this is a variation I made. It's 2 ounces of gin, London Dry Bombay, one half ounce of cherry hearing, which is a cherry heavy liqueur, an ounce of lime juice, and then top it off with ginger ale. It's very refreshing. I mean, you can still taste the gin. It's very floral. Oh, it's nice. It's nice. Very refreshing. But we're here with the Q&A. So, without further ado, let's just get into it. I'm going to see if I can finally do a Q&A under an hour. I kind of doubt I will, but we'll see what happens. All right, coming to us first from Dennis Servin. We have, hey, Clockwork, love your work as always, man. Keep it up. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Servin. I do my best, or try to do my best. Questions, 1 of 8. If you had to rank the core members of the Justice League from the animated series of 2001, so basically the original Justice League cartoon, how would you rank them? For reference, Batman, Flash, Hawkgirl, Wonder Woman, Superman, Green Lantern, and Martian Manhunter. Now, if you mean in terms of power, well, Superman technically has to be just top of them. I'm guessing you mean as who my favorite characters on that show was. It would go Batman. There's nothing changed in the Batman. But then goes Green Lantern. Then I'd probably say Martian Manhunter. Then I'd go Flash. Then I'd probably go Wonder Woman, Hawkgirl, and then Superman. Superman, I like the animated Superman a lot more than say like movie, and even movie Superman more than say comic Superman. I've gone on length about why I'm not a big Superman fan. But yeah, that's probably the way I'd rank them: Batman, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, Flash, Wonder Woman, Hawkgirl, Superman. What was your favorite video game as a kid? As a kid, I was either playing Pokemon a lot, or as I've said multiple times, Dark Cloud. I got Dark Cloud right now, actually upstairs. I gotta hook it up to a TV because I got the PS2 back from my sister. I gotta get new TVs just so I can hook that thing up and play again. I love that game, absolutely. Number 3, what's your favorite game? What's your favorite game? Like hide and seek goes. Oh, so basically like a game I'd play as a kid. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't do a lot of that. Sad face. I didn't actually have a lot of friends growing up. At least when I was like in my single digits. Started to get more friends when I got my double digits, 11 through 13. Didn't really start to come into my own until I was in my teenage years. But yeah, I didn't actually play a lot of games, sadly. Do you have a song that you like a lot that isn't English? Oh God. Maybe Doom, Du hast. It's like maybe that. But otherwise, nah, I don't listen to a lot of non-English songs just because, you know, with your when you have your own language and the culture, obviously, um, that your language exists in, it's easier for you to understand songs like that. Have you watched Eurovision Song Contest? No, I have not. Sorry about that. As a Swedish guy, I'm curious. What is your favorite thing or thing from Sweden? Example: ABBA, IKEA, etc. These are the normal ones people say. I like ABBA fine. I'll jam to Dancing Queen when it comes on. You can dance, having the time of your life. I hate Mamma Mia though. Like I cannot stand. There's only so much ABBA I can take, and that movie's not very good in my opinion. But in terms of other things from Sweden, you guys got good food. I do appreciate good food. And I'm not mistaken Sweden with Switzerland because I know Swiss chocolate is a big thing, but I do believe you guys do like good pastries too, like delicious pastries. So I definitely go with the food part on that. 7, if you rank the Scooby Gang, Scooby, Scrappy, Freddy, Shaggy, Daphne, Velma, how would you rank them? Again, if you're talking about from favorite to least favorite, Scooby is the favorite, Shaggy's the second favorite. Then I go Velma, then Daphne. No, you know what? Then I'll go Fred. Daphne was always kind of like my least favorite, but then Scrappy, boom, and then go further down. Then finally, 8. What do you think is the most difficult thing about romantic relationships? Are we talking about in real life? Communication. That's the toughest thing in the world because one of the biggest reasons, apart from things like infidelity, all that, but one of the biggest reasons relationships break down or struggle is the fact that for some reason people don't communicate how they're feeling. Guys have, because of the way society has kind of raised us, we're we are taught to just keep it internal and not talk about what's bothering us because we don't want to bother everyone else. And women, and I can't, by the way, I'm not speaking for every single person out there. This is just a generalization based on societal rules. Women, on the other hand, have trouble communicating on a different, from my experience and from culture. They tend to be a little too expressive, and then a lot of women tend to be passive aggressive. Not every woman, obviously. My girlfriend definitely communicates with me. I communicate with her, so I feel like that's why our relationship works well. But communication, it's one of the most difficult things. It's the most simple thing you can do. Just talk to someone. My God. So thank you so much for answering my questions and for being such an awesome guy and content creator. Keep it up, my man, and stay safe. And you, and thank you for your questions and your just kind words. For Peak Edits, what is your favorite video series that you've done on this channel? You do realize I have God knows how many series and then videos within that series. Like just among the what ifs, it's near impossible to say. But one of my favorite videos I've done. I love doing ranking videos actually. One of the favorite series I did was when I ranked like the captains Shinigami. So that was one of them, absolutely. My favorite review I ever did, honestly, was Sausage Party when I did that with Mark. Me and him just kind of like just went crazy in that video. Jason Statham eats his Jason Stathams. But yeah, you can't ask me to pick out one single thing. I'm just gonna close my door real quick. I kept it open for the dog. It's almost 50 at the moment, so it's actually very nice. It's melting the ice outside amazingly. But yeah, I don't know if you can ask me to pick just one video out of my entire lineup. I don't know if you can ask me to do that. Joshua Merriweather. By the way, Joshua, if you're watching this, thank you for your suggestions, but I've written everything down. So unless you're giving me something new out of that lineup you're giving me, I'll just say this. You can keep doing that. It's not going to make your questions come any faster. Sorry. Anyway, but you asked one of 11. Would you consider doing a video game what ifs and cartoon show what if scenarios? If so, can you do one of Kingdom Hearts or God of War or anyone you choose? I will hypothetically do just about any what if, unless it's just either extremely fanficky. Like I've occasionally seen people say, what if this character from Ninjago became a loyal member of Ben 10 Alien Force? I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Or what if this character did this, like compound with? I'm not going to do that. But if you're just giving me like a question of, say, I don't know, based on what I'm looking at here, what if since I just brought Ben 10, what if Ben Tennyson replaced Kratos in God of War? I'd do that. Yeah, I'd do that. Absolutely. I'll do video game what ifs. What is your favorite movie theater? What is your favorite movie theaters to go see a movie? Well, my favorite? Well, the only one that's close to me is my local Cinemark. There is a Cinemark, though, in like a couple towns over. That's much better than my local Cinemark. Like, it is kind of luxury. So I do like going there. But that would probably be the best movie theater I've actually ever gone to. Number 3, what is your top 5 favorite film franchises? Oh, God. You'd think I would have vetted these questions before I actually decided to answer them. Let's see here. My top 5 favorite franchises of all time. Franchises, mind you. MCU has to be in there because it's just freaking awesome. I'd then say, the problem is I can't say the DCU because it's had stinkers, and I wouldn't even say the Dark Knight trilogy. I love the Dark Knight. Batman Begins is good. I even like Dark Knight Rises quite a bit, but I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite franchises. After that, it gets a little tricky. John Wick probably would be up there. James Bond franchise is just long. Even though there's some lesser films, I had to put that in there. Absolutely. 2 more, huh? Is there a comedy franchise? I mean, I can't count Mel Brooks because that's not really a franchise. That's just his movies. It gets a little tricky after you get to this point. I would say Star Wars probably has to be in there. I'm going to be honest. I'm not actually a big Lord. I like Lord of the Rings fine, but I'm not a big Lord of the Rings fan. And no, not the Austin Power movies. Oh, franchises, huh? I can't think of a 5th one off the top of my head, unfortunately. Because franchises are like I like the Mission Impossible film Spawn, but I wouldn't say they're my top 5 favorites. And there's no real comedies either that I like that. The Alien franchise, if they were all close to as good, like even half as good as the first two, I would have put that there, but not the Alien franchise, that's for certain. Same with the Predator movies. Although Predator, the Predator is the best one still. Predator 2, I actually like quite a bit. Alien vs. Predator, the first one's really good. The Alien Predator action sequences at Requiem are good, but the rest of that movie is hot garbage. Predators, though, is a really good film. And Prey was good, but the Predator was just, You know, honestly, I might put the Predator in there just for nostalgia purposes. All right, 4. Choose one MCU film, one DCU film, and to completely change or erase from existence for the better. One MCU film? Oh, that's actually not that hard to do. I would probably go with Ant-Man and the Lost Quantumania. It's not the worst one, by the way. If I'm changing an MCU film, it's Ant-Man and Lost Quantumania. If I'm erasing one, I mean, my least favorite one is Captain Marvel, but it's still kind of important to the like introducing her and whatnot. I would say if I were to erase one, as much as I don't hate the movie, you know what it would be? It'd be Thor: The Dark World. Because apart from having the Reality Stone introduced, you could have done that another way in another post-credit scene. It really is just kind of one of the most lackluster movies. That or no, you know what? I take it back. Iron Man 2. I'd erase Iron Man 2. Now, for the DC, you didn't say DCU, so DC films, Steel, I'd erase that completely. But if I were to say improve one, ooh, that's tougher. No, you know what? Change, alter to make better. Batman v Superman, because I like that film. I do. In fact, I like it quite a bit. But it's got problems. We're definitely leaning more into what some of the fans want. We wanted a more mature, not goofy Lex Luthor. Probably not kill off Superman, and probably not use Doomsday. That's what I probably would do. And then that would change things down the line moving forward. So that's what I would probably do. So erase Steel, change Batman v Superman, erase Thor: The Dark World, change Ant-Man and the Lost Quantumania. Excuse me. Ooh. Okay, number 5. Which Hogwarts house would you be placed in? I feel like I've answered this before. I'm probably either a Ravenclaw or a Gryffindor. That's probably right. I feel like I'm analytical enough to be more closer to Ravenclaw than Gryffindor. But I definitely feel like I got the heart of a Gryffindor, so it'd be one of those two. I love snakes, by the way, so I wouldn't diss Slytherin, but Slytherins can be dicks. They're not every Slytherin's a dick, but if you're a Slytherin, you're gonna be. Don't feel bad if people judge you. Are you going to do a special what if for your birthday? Nope, never do. Unless not really. There's no point in it. I don't do videos based on my stuff, with the exception of the Zompacto videos, the Pokemon videos, and basically when it's like a creation type series, then I do a special request for myself. I also do have a lineup of or had a lineup of what ifs that were my personal list, but that's changed in recent years because most people have suggested those. So no special birthday what ifs. I'm working on writing an original idea, Avatar: Last Airbender, one if of my own. Can you give me some advice or maybe assist in its completion? Well, I don't really collab with people, mostly because I'm not tech savvy enough to do that. But if you want some advice, I'd first say what is your idea? Like, is it a character being introduced in there from a different series? Are you changing something drastic? The way I do a what if is that I look at what the change is. Then I look at what the story is. And I'm not perfect at this, by the way. It's just my process. I will mess it up sometimes. A couple of you guys are very quick to point that out. And look, it's okay if you disagree with what I'm doing and if you point out a flaw of mine. But you do risk being a know-it-all a little bit when you constantly do it. So just, you know what it is? It's gatekeeping. That's what you kind of come off doing if you're doing that. And I'm not saying you're wrong for just correcting someone if they get something wrong. I'm just saying you need to give a little creative leeway sometimes, guys. But yeah, I would look at the story. And by the way, this is simply the way I do a what if. I try to stick to the canon as best as possible while going with the domino effect of what the what if actually changed. So that's how I handle a what if. And that's how I would personally handle it too. So, I mean, that's just the way I do it. So I would look at now. If you want to do some creative stuff and creative elements, absolutely throw some flair in there. I'm not judging you. That's just how I do it. So that would be my advice. Just look at what your change is, and then see what the domino effect would be from that. Number 9, if you could have a dragon from How to Train Your Dragon as a pet, what would you choose? Well, Toothless is kind of the easy answer. So, instead of going with the boring answer of Toothless, what was the dragon? Stormjumper his mom had? That was a cool dragon. I like that dragon. I go with that dragon over Toothless if I can't choose Toothless. Number 10, how is the what if Naruto could summon dragon scenario coming? It's coming as quickly as the rest of the what ifs are coming. It's gonna be whenever I get to that suggestion in my book. Literally, if people stop giving me suggestions for what ifs, who wins, and everything else, today I'd still have enough to just do this for the rest of my life. Honestly, no joke. I don't intend stopping. I'm 35. I don't intend stopping anytime soon. I might do this until I'm 60, talking about Naruto for all I care. But I may very well croak one day and not get through all these suggestions. And that's just, you know what? That's just life. All right, and finally, 11. What species would you choose? Kryptonian, Saiyan, or Viltrumite? Kryptonian. I love Saiyans. They're cool. They're awesome. Viltrumites are kind of a hybrid. Not truly hybrid, but kind of a mix of the two. They get stronger through battles and through, recovering from injuries. But Kryptonians are broken. I live on Earth. I have the yellow sun. When you see what Superman can do, Kryptonians are effing broken. So there you go. All right. Insane Makayo should ask, 1 of 3. How's your year been? Well, it's only the end of February, but it's been a pretty decent year so far. We're getting our taxes done pretty soon, so hopefully I get a little cash back. But it's been a decent year so far. Movies have been a little hit and miss, but when they've hit, they've been pretty solid. And when they miss, they've been... Okay. 2, what series are you interested in bringing back? Example, Let's Build the Strongest Character series. Well, fun fact, none of those series are gone. I just have the set schedule I do, and then I just randomly do videos. By the way, no one gives me suggestions for that. If you want that series to be more prominent, by all means, give suggestions. But in terms of a series that maybe I just haven't done in a while, the Strongest Trainer series. I wish I could just be more on the ball with those. I'm only up to the 3rd gym so far for that, but yeah. By the by, speaking of Pokemon, we got Pokemon Day tomorrow. I'm not certain if I want to try to hold off and do a reaction to that, or if I'm just gonna watch it when I'm at work, like when I'm on a break or taking going to the bathroom to use the restroom and be like. The problem is, if I try to wait, I'm gonna risk getting spoiled regardless. So I think I'm probably just gonna watch it at work. Anyway, if there's one I want to try to at least be a bit more on the ball with, it maybe would be the Pokemon Strongest Trainer series. Number 3, what new series are you interested in creating? Vollständig Creation Series, Bakugo Partner Series, Beyblade Partner Series, Dual Monster Archetype Series, Nen Creation Series, etc. So, it's going to be a big fat L in the Nen Creation Series. I'm going to tell you right now, there's no logical way to do this. I've read Hunter x Hunter, and I like Hunter x Hunter. I'm not big on Hunter x Hunter. I'll still probably read, when I get to it, I'll still probably pick up more volumes of that, and I gotta pick up more volumes of Black Clover, because I like Black Clover more. It just feels more shonen to me. But, yeah, Nen is just too everywhere. It really is. That you could just do anything with Nen. You really could. It just makes no sense. How do you determine, from the different types, all that, and then what someone does? I don't know. Dual Monsters Archetype, also no, because all that video would be me reciting a deck list. And me trying to pick out, for example, Naruto probably plays, honestly, probably play a type of hero deck. That would be the summation of me saying what that is. Beyblade series, Partner Series, no, I'm not going to do Beyblade. There's not enough, I don't do enough Beyblade contact to begin with. I do not follow Bakugan at all. The Vollständig Creation series isn't a bad idea, but I think the full series would be Shrift and Vollständig. Now, creating a Shrift, that wouldn't be a bad idea for character. In fact, that's something I could pocket. I like that idea. Now, the one thing I did say I will do at some point is the Naruto Children Creation Series. Basically, pair up Naruto characters and just see what this, like, how strong a kid they could make. I mentioned that. There was also the Quirk Creation Series I did a while back, but I basically just kind of ended that. There was also the Quirk. I could also do something similar with My Hero with the Quirks, with the Children's Series. But when I did the poll, no one was really interested in that. So the Naruto Kid Creation Series, that's on the table. I am going to try doing that. The Both Standards series isn't a bad idea, but I think I would probably parlay that into a script as well. So, yeah, not saying I'm against some of these, but most of these I just don't follow the series well enough. All right. I always botch this name. Kynareth the Demon. It's me again. Got some for you. I think you were interested. Well, I think they are interesting. Okay, shoot. Which would be better for everyday use, the Shadow Clone or Flying Raijin? That's a Sophie's choice. If you need to multitask, it's got to be the Shadow Clone. But if you need to just travel, Flying Raijin. You can literally, all you got to do is drive to work one day, place a seal tag on there, or whatever it is, seal marker, and then I can just pop back there. Same with every single place. And if I'm ever in trouble, like people just say, how'd you do that? Pop out of there. You didn't say anything. You're going crazy. For travel, and I can do that all over the world. So if we're talking about everyday use, okay, for me personally, save money, I'd go to the Flying Raijin because I wouldn't have to drive my car almost ever. I do it like once a week, just so like the battery doesn't die, it doesn't rust out or anything like that. Okay, 2, near the end of Bleach, not TBY, not Thousand Year Blood War arc. Aizen removed his Zanpakuto away. If Kyokusui gets it was still out there, could someone else take it? Well, here's the problem with that. You can't disclude Thousand Year Blood War arc because that showed us he still had his Zanpakuto. So you can't just negate a part of the series. But so what I will say is it showed us that he actually still had his Zanpakuto. But we also know that even if he did lose his Zanpakuto, if someone takes his Zanpakuto, they generally overwrite it with their own soul. Now, Tozen's an exception, apparently. There are aspects of the original ability in Suzumushi, apparently. But overall, no. He still had his Zanpakuto, actually. It even said, Hogyoku doesn't think I need a Zanpakuto anymore. When it's revealed that he can't actually summon his Zanpakuto back. So you can't negate Thousand Year Blood War arc with that question. That doesn't work. 3, if you could have a tail beast, which one would you want? I mean, the easiest choice would be the strongest, but the question is, so it's Kurama, obviously. This is assuming, by the way, I'm on good terms with this. If I'm on good terms with the tail beast, then it's Kurama, obviously. Despite the extra abilities some of the others have, it'd be Kurama. Now, if you went to besides Kurama, well, then that's the thing is that now, okay, look, if I'm not choosing Kurama, I don't know if Chome has any other abilities, the Seven Tails. So, but I do like Chome actually quite a bit. So I'd go Seven Tails surprisingly after that. Okay. If someone had the Rinnegan, couldn't they just suck your soul out if they fought you hand to hand, let alone get close to them? Yes, but only if they're using the human path. Because you have to actively use a path of pain to use that ability. Just like if you have all the abilities of the 6 paths in you, you can't just Shinra Tensei while sucking someone's soul out. I do believe you can't use more an ability. You can't overlap an ability with the other. I don't think. But we never saw an example of that. So it's possible. Maybe we'll see the, what they're called, the Shinju. They all have Rinnegans. Maybe we'll see that. Mind you, they all have Rinnegans, but they haven't demonstrated any of the abilities of them yet, as far as I know. But yes, theoretically, in hand-to-hand combat, if you're using the human path, yeah, you can just suck someone's soul out. Provided I think you catch him by the head, I think. But there is also the, hold on, that's the human path. The Devon path is Shinra Tensei. Animal path is summoning. Printed path is absorption. I'm missing 2. Which 2 am I missing? The Naraka path Azura path, yeah, it's the Naraka path that also has the truth-telling thing. So, yeah, but that's not hand-to-hand combat, so that doesn't work. 4. Could a Sharingan of any level see through Kyokutsugetsu? Well, if you ask Death Bell, the answer is yes. Personally, an Eternal Mangekyo maybe. But the problem, here's one of, again, I've gone over length about this. But here's my problem with that Death Battle episode. And I love Death Battle. I enjoy Death Battle. I do reaction Death Battle. By the way, I'm going to do something different this week because for some reason I'm just getting a lot of lag while watching it. I'm going to just do a review of the battle while having it on in the background. I'm going to watch it and then I'll review it. But it's the fact that Kyokusugetsu is not creating illusions. Well, it can, but that's not what its ability is. It's literally controlling your senses. So even if you have a genjutsu, even if you can like see through it hypothetically, it's not. You will just nearly just see the illusion again. It's not dispelling the illusion. You are still seeing it. Even if you negate it temporarily. So that's because your senses are always being manipulated. Okay, 6. Base to base, no Susanoo or no KCM, so Kurama Chakra Mode at any mode. Does Naruto or Sasuke win? If you're asking with none of their strongest techniques and Naruto's not accessing Kurama's chakra, but you still gave Sasuke his Rin Sharingan and Amaterasu and anything else he has with his Sharingan, I'd probably say Sasuke. Sage mode is a boost. It is, but even in Boruto, they did acknowledge that Sasuke overall had grown stronger than Naruto because Naruto had laxed on training for a while. No, he made up for that. He did get stronger again after a while, but still, I would say Sasuke. And lastly, 7 Lion King or a Lion King remastered. Oh, a 7th Lion King or a Lion King remastered. Are there 6 right now? The original, Lion King 2, Lion King 1.5, the live action, and the there's only 5. Am I missing a 6th? I don't recall there's a 3rd animated one. There's only or 4th animated one. There's only either, well, let's just say 7th. Okay. I would go with a remastered version, personally. That's just me. I love the Lion King. All right. Chris, thank you for the questions. Chris Dash, out of curiosity, and I'm just not gonna, by the way, you don't have to say out of curiosity for every question, dude. It's fine. You can just number them. If you had to make an SCP, what species would it be? I like the creature SCPs. I'd probably make some sort of creature. I don't know if there's an actual dragon SCP, but maybe I'd make some sort of dragon or something like that. Or a Hydra. That'd be cool. 2, would you watch Grand Army of the Republic? I tried to look what that would be, so I have no idea what that is. 3, by the way, for that, I forgot to mention this last time, but yeah, any suggestions you give for who would wins what ifs or anything on the channel, I'm not going to do a straight what if. I'm just going to, or answer the question. I'm just going to give you my base answer. I'm not going to do the video. Who would really win, Perfect Cell or Metal Sonic? Metal Sonic technically has a better potential, but Perfect Cell can literally just nuke the planet from orbit, and it's good night, Irene, on that. 4, would you watch Multiversal Wisdom Batman contingency plans? Would I? I've seen those videos occasionally. They're fine. I'm not going to do a reaction, but yeah, I've seen them. 5, sorry. Would you watch Dragon Ball Chaos crossover in Z? I don't know what that is. Have you ever watched Dead Meat Horror? Okay, yes, that I have watched. I haven't watched him in a while, but they're fun. He's a fun guy. I like him. Just doing the kill counts and all that. 7, have you ever watched Invincible Season 3? I have actually only kind of seen Invincible Season 1 and clips of the 2nd season. I haven't watched the 3rd at all. Have you ever watched Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show? You know, I'm kind of meant to, but I never got around to it. And Daredevil's coming out next week, so I'm not going to have time for that. 9, would you watch Danco? I have seen Danco. Yeah, I have watched him. He's good. He's a good YouTuber. I like him. And 10, would you watch Dynamic Duel DC versus Marvel? I don't know what that is. Sorry. Oh, God. Okay. Diego Lorente. Diego, you've been asking. Look, Diego, I love your passion, dude. I do. But I'm not trying to call Diego out here or anything like that, guys. But Diego, I told you when the Q&A was coming, and then you later on asked, when is it coming? I told you when it's coming. They're always on Wednesday, and they're the last week of the month. God, you need to calm just a little bit. I know you're excited, but you need to chill just a little bit. What's your favorite Law and Order episode? I don't watch Law and Order. Sorry. Are you going to see 28 Days Later movie? Yeah, or it's actually 28 years, but yeah, 28 years. Yeah, probably. Who do you think should play Amy in Sonic 4? Anyone who's got a voice that matches. If we're going with these guys, Erica Henningsen, don't know her. I don't watch Has Been Hotel yet. Billie Eilish, no. Sabrina Carpenter, maybe. Zendaya, trying to hear her voice in my head here. No, not Margot Robbie. Jennifer Ortega or Selena Gomez may have that. Candy, I don't know that. Tara Strong, I like Tara Strong. Anna Kendrick, that's not a bad choice. Noelle Wells, not sure if that is. Sorry. And I got a bonus question for you, kind of quick, but which 90s show was better? Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls, Power Rangers, Animaniacs, TMT, Goosebumps, Hey Arnold, Johnny Bravo, or Are You Afraid of the Dark? Animaniacs, all day, every day, hands down. After that, though, I would probably go Dexter's Lab. Then I'd probably go with... Ooh, after that, it gets a little trickier. Maybe Hey Arnold? But, yeah. All right. Last before we go, I got to go to bed. And I know you gave more questions. In fact, they're coming up in a little bit. Who would actually win in a hypothetical fight? I think you meant to say hypothetical, not hypochondrial fight. I never can. Narlothep from the Cthulhu Mythos versus Slenderman Creepypasta versus him for Powerpuff Girls. It's going to be Narlothep because the mythos for Lovecraft is far greater than the mythos for the other two. And yes, I'm including Creepypasta on that because Creepypasta is entirely fan-made. You can make that, and this is why I don't like using things like Creepypasta in... I mean, I do it. Like, I throw Slenderman in there all the time because people suggest him, but I do not like fan-made. SCP is one thing, but even SCP gets a little too busted for these what-ifs. That's why that Sugverse thing I don't like doing, because it's like, what's the point here? So, yeah. All right. Thank you for the questions. I know you got more. Noble Chief asks 1 to 10. It's about time. Let's go top 10. What's your favorite anime intro and outro of all time? Oh. Intro. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, old school Dragon Ball Z with the Dragon, rock the Dragon Balls. Like, that's childhood in a nutshell right there. But also Yu Yu Hakusho had a great one too. Outro? Ooh, I didn't pay a lot of attention to the outro, sadly. Though, me and my girlfriend often go from Bleach, happy people, everybody's like we do that, so maybe that. What was the worst reckon you seen, heard in any show, anime, movie? What? What was the worst reckon you seen? What was the worst reckon you seen, heard in any movie, show, anime, manga, or game? Reckon. What was the worst reckon? I don't know what you're asking with that. I'm sorry. You might need to work on your spelling just a bit, because have you watched Fudget Fugget about it? It has 3 seasons. I've never heard of that. Which SNL skit was your favorite? Oh, I don't. Maybe Cowbell. I don't watch a lot of SNL. Didn't even when it was more popular. 5. If DC did comic Civil War, which heroes do you think would sign and reveal their identities? Flash would. Although Flash has a family, so he might be against that. Wonder Woman's already out in the public. Definitely the Green Lanterns would do that. They have no issue with that. Batman, definitely no. Superman's a tough one. Superman actually might be that, if you think there's a Civil War, but honestly, I don't think either Super or Batman would sign that thing. So no, I don't think so. It's tough to say, really. Cyborg, I mean, the problem with a lot of more of the DC heroes is a lot of their identities are known. So yeah, no. Who's your favorite VA for Spider-Man? VA, valuable A. I don't know what that is. I don't know what VA is. You can't abbreviate you can't assume I know what you're talking about. 7. Do you think Spidey 2009 suit is dark blue or black? Are you talking about the Miguel O'Hara character? Oh, that's blue. That's not black. That's blue. It's blue and red. or kind of like a dark teal. I like his suit, by the way. It's a good suit. Are you an NFL fan? No, sorry. I'm not a football player. I'm not a sports guy. 9. If Iron Fist was in DBZ, how far do you think he would last? That all depends if he's able to harness ki in the because he can harness his chi, which is basically ki. He can essentially do what they do. It's just under a different name. So if he trained harder, mind you, he is still only human, so he's still got built-in limitations that other characters like the Saiyans definitely surpass. And like at his max, he is still a planetary level threat in theory if he were to go all out, but he's not like universal. He'd probably be able to though get to like the around the Namek Saga levels of power. I think that's more than reasonable to say. All right, number 10. What's your thoughts on a demon Super Saiyan form? Could it be called Super Saiyan Oni? Toei could bring it back. Raz and Nappa could bring back Raz and Nappa and let the form have the form. A demonic version of Super Saiyan. Here's the problem. If you were going to have that, you would have done it in Dama. By the way, I am going to give is it Daima or Dama? I am going to give that a chance because I need to know actually how that really fits in the timeline. Because it takes place, if I'm not mistaken, before Super. So something has to happen for all these guys to forget that Vegeta can go Super Saiyan 3 and Goku has Super Saiyan 4. Something's got to happen that's going to make them forget that. That or it's not canon, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's supposed to be canon. So if you're going to introduce a demon form, you would have been there. However, the idea of like a corrupted demonic Super Broly would have been the perfect way to do that, like movie Broly. But all right, Diego Lorente also asks, "What's your favorite? What is your favorite? Are you afraid of the dark twist ending?" Also, happy late Valentine's Day to you. Well, thank you for that. It's been years since I've watched those. I remember the cabbie. I do remember that episode where they figured out the test and were able to, or the riddle. So maybe that. Forbidden Super. Once Dama finishes, are you planning to incorporate it in the Dragon Ball What Ifs? Like I said, I'm going to try to give it a watch when it's pretty much done. But it's going to be a little bit for that. I got to see how it plays out and how it theoretically could fit before I actually do that. But we'll see what happens. James Riley, I know you said you will not touch Dama. Well, I've clearly changed my mind. But what if Deborah kept the Teteran Oculus? Because there's a lot of ways that can go. I don't know what that is right now. So, we'll wait and see. Lethal Injection asks 1 of 4. If GT and Super had an official crossover event and narratively you were in charge, how would you show the differences in power and abilities of the Supercast and GT? I would probably have GT Goku get his ass handed to him not ass hand. I'd probably have him duke it out with Beerus for a little bit, and then I'd have Super Saiyan 4 go against Super Saiyan Blue to really actually illustrate the proper difference in power that's supposed to be there. So that'd probably be one thing I'd do. Then I'd have Omega Shenron come out. I'd have him be the final villain. And I might have Beerus show up and kind of just ends it. Because he'd be a big enough threat that even Beerus like, all right, then no more. And maybe actually have him give Beerus a solid fight. Like, maybe not be technically stronger than Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta, or Goku, but in that moment be stronger. But there's a lot of ways you could go about it. 2, what's your most anticipated movie or show in the next few years? Few years? Well, Daredevil's right up there. Movie? Oh, man. That's tough to say. I gotta be honest, I'm very curious how they're gonna handle Doom in Doomsday. And I'm curious about how the DC universe is gonna be playing out too. I'm gonna be honest. Superman trailer looks good. Like, I still actually get a little emotional whenever that kid just holds up the sand and just closes his eyes and just prays for Superman to show up. That there's something like really raw about that. 3, and then there's that the guy who just did Nosferatu. I can't remember his name. He's gonna do a werewolf movie. I'm interested in that. I like Nosferatu. Not interested in watching it again, but I like Nosferatu. So him taking a werewolf movie would be interesting. 3, sorry, that car got me. Would you take superpowers from some higher level entities if the catch was that 1,000 other random individuals will also receive powers. Yeah, because I don't know what those powers are. And you're assuming that I'm not stronger. And plus, that's me not giving me having been the only one with powers. I'm not a god. I don't want to be god. Sounds like a terrible job. You're either overly loved and you want space, or you're not loved enough, or you're playing for everything. Which, by the way, yeah, God's kind of a prick. If the whole idea is, oh, you're made to suffer, it's God's will. Well, then God's an asshole. Sorry. It's like, well, it's all part of God's plan. Your plan sucks. Sorry. And God, if you're listening right now, I'm right, because assuming you exist, you want us to just worship you and love you. That's the point. Even when you treat us like shit, that's egotistical as fuck. So yeah, assuming God exists. And God, I just want to say that you did create us, so thank you for that. So I don't want it to be uneven space. You've got the power to be a good person also, but you tend to be a little high on yourself sometimes. And now any religious person who watches is going like, blasphemer! It's like, well, sorry. Mohawk, Half-Breed, The Shredder, Godzilla vs. the Quiet Place Monsters. Okay, like I said, I don't do that. I'll say this. I think I watched a video saying the Quiet Place Monsters would just overwhelm Godzilla because he shouldn't be able to kill them because they survived space and what we were able to throw at him. I feel like we take that statement a little too literally. Like, I don't think we actually nuked these things. In fact, there's no actual evidence to say that we did that. Also, they can still drown. So, and they are only maybe twice as large as a normal human, whereas any version of Godzilla is skyscrapers in height. Which means all Godzilla has to do is walk into water and drown these things. By the way, there's no guarantee that these things could survive just being crushed. So, yeah, Godzilla would win. All right, then. Revenant. Oh, okay. What would you put between SCP-826? If okay. It is a pair of bookends molded in the shape of, okay. When a subject is placed between the bookends, touching both ends, and leaves the room, it will instantly process convert in the interior to whatever the room is currently located in. A room defined as an enclosed area into the setting of the contained book. Any form of entry of the room would instead open in a random location of the book's setting. No, I'm in a relationship and I'm trying to I want to keep this a little PC. So no. So what type of book would I put there essentially? I don't know. Somewhere nice, beach maybe, something with a lot of beaches or something like that. Just like have a nice day. I don't know, something pretty relatively harmless. Dragon Fist Dojon. What's your opinion on Super Saiyan 4 finally becoming canon? Also, do you like any arcade machine? Oh, I love arcade machines. There is the Star Wars one that with the joystick. I played the shit out of that as a kid. And I love like standard arcade games too. Super Saiyan 4 being canon? Well, it's about fucking time. It's about time. So yeah, Diego. Okay. Really filled out that question, didn't you? I'm gonna try here. Okay, these aren't even the same questions you did last time. Okay, Q&A February, asking some questions, like 14 questions and 4 bonus questions. You already did the 4 bonus. All right. Question 1: which Cartoon Network character would survive Jeff the Killer from Creepypasta? From Teams Up, Slenderman, Laughing Jack, TV. Okay, so you're asking basically for verses. Which character could survive all that? The options were the Powerpuff Girls. They would survive. Dexter could survive if his tech's up to snuff. Johnny Bravo is dead. Gumball's got Toon Force, so he'd be fine. Finn and Jake also are kind of like, Jake particularly is pretty much he's going to be fine. Mordecai and Rigby might have Toon Force. Mojo Jojo is probably dead, believe it or not. Weasel and Ira Baboom have Toon Force on their side. So does Cow and Chicken. I noticed you didn't put Samurai Jack because that was an obvious one. The Codename Kids Next Door would probably die. Courage is probably going to survive. Billy and Mandy have a Grim on their side, so that's there. It's not going to take them. They're going to be fine. And Ed and Eddie are dead. Question 2: Wicked for Good will Wicked for Good break 1 billion, or Mission Impossible find a record? Which one breaks a billion? It's gonna if one does it, it's Wicked for Good. It made over $700 million. It's a worldwide phenomenon. You're gonna just attract more people who watched it on the streaming after that. No Mission Impossible film has ever hit $1 billion. Honestly, no Mission Impossible film has ever even come close to $1 billion. I think the highest grossing was like in the low sevens. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be Wicked for Good. Number 3, what's your JoJo's from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stand? Sorry, what JoJo Bizarre Adventure stand would you will be? Are you asking what stand I would have? I don't know JoJo's very well, so I would guess one of the time manipulation ones. Maybe like Star Platinum, or what was it, Crimson Fury or something like that, for because I know I got that character coming up for a fight later on, or something like that. Do you believe in a supernatural life, ghosts, aliens, angels, demons? I believe there's something after death. I do. I don't believe we just go black and nothing and for the rest of eternity. I do believe there is something beyond our consciousness. Now, I can't define what that is. But do I believe in the super? Now, by the way, aliens don't count as supernatural. By the way, they count as more science fiction or scientific. But angels, demons, ghosts, I'm open. I'm not closed-minded on the idea. I'll leave it at that. Number 4, you just asked me this, dude. Do you believe in aliens like that? What? Okay, ghost aliens? Is that what you're asking? Wait, you didn't put a pause. You're talking about ghost aliens? Okay, ghost aliens. Do I believe in aliens? Oh yeah, I believe in aliens. Now, are they like us, or are they humanoid sentient beings that can travel like us? Maybe not, but I believe there's alien life out there. Absolutely. Universe is too big for there not to be. 4, basically the same question as the first one, but what Cartoon Network characters would survive Attack on Titan? Powerpuff Girls, yes. Dexter, honestly, just has better tech than them, so yes. Johnny, no. Jake and Finn? Jake, yes. Finn, maybe not. Mordecai and Rigby, probably not. Mojo Jojo does get access to giant robots, so maybe. Weasel and I are Baboon, maybe because of Toon Force. Cow and Chicken, same. All 5 members of Code and Kids Next Door are still going to die. Courage would survive. Billy and Mandy would survive thanks to Grimm. And Ed and Eddie are dead. What's your honest opinion on a live-action Zelda movie directed by Wes Ball from the Planet of the Apes and the Maze Runner trilogy? I think anything can work in theory. Now, there's definitely better fits, and this could go bad, but I am open to it. Best actor to play Link? Any good options? For you, it's Tom Holland, Logan Lerman, Timothée Chalamet, or a completely unknown actor. Well, obviously, or Juan Diego. Can you imagine me? Or Dylan Cole Sparrows? I don't know what you're saying there, dude. But of like the 3 you suggested, honestly, probably Tom Holland. Now, who do I think you think played Princess Zelda? Rachel Zegler, Zendaya, Jennifer Knight. I think Jennifer Lawrence is too old. Zendaya. Link doesn't. Zelda doesn't have to be white, but I do think she actually has to be blonde. Maybe not has to be. But I don't think you're gonna work well with race swapping Zelda. She's just too iconic in her design. So at least for a first outing for a Zelda film, and then if you reboot it down the road, you could do it. I don't remember who Sabrina Carpenter is. Not Billie Eilish. She's not an actress. Of your choices, Rachel Zegler is the best actress, I think, here from Jennifer Lawrence. And that's me, and that's someone who's not been thrilled about Snow White. So there you go. Question 7. What, on his opinion, guys, you really got to work on grammar a little bit. What, in your opinion, what is his opinion of? Who should reject it? Okay. What, on his opinion of? Who should reject it in New Nightmare on Elm Street? Who should be for me? At least there's 3 options. Elijah Wood. I don't know what you're asking. You're not asking about a new Freddy Krueger. Are you asking who should direct it? Maybe that's directed. Elijah Wood? James? Why Elijah Woods? Does Elijah Woods direct? I'm not familiar with him directing. James Wan, though, is not a bad option. Third option is unknown director. Of course, it's always an unknown director, man. Options number 4 for Damien. Question: what's your honest opinion artist does Goosebumps work or else Billie Eilish? Okay, look, you're combining like questions in the questions, dude. I know you're like excited to get your questions you want to ask me out, but you really got to try to structure this a little better. I like Goosebumps. I grew up on Goosebumps books and the TV show. I like Goosebumps fine. I don't know Sabrina Carpenter's music very well. Billie Eilish is fine. Question 9: Do you have a cryptid like you know? Do you have cryptid like monsters? Asking if I like cryptids? Yes, I do. I'm not trying to get upset, but dude, this is actually really hard to read. Question 10: Do you believe in astral? It's not astral projection; it's astral projection. No. And the dead internet theory. I don't even know what that is. Hey, what's your favorite David Fincher movie? I don't know. Wait, David Fincher. Didn't he do Gone Girl? If he did, I'll go to Gone Girl. For me, it's Alien 3, but I know people don't really like that. Alien 3 and Fight Club. Oh, Fight Club's a good one. Oh, yeah, that's right. He did Fight Club. 11. What's your favorite James Bond movie? For me, at least The Man with the Golden Gun is second to Skyfall. Favorite? Ooh, it's tough to top Goldfinger. I could tell you my favorite of the 5 Bonds. Goldfinger, top Sean Connery, easy. Roger Moore's Spy Who Loved Me. Timothy Dalton's License to Kill. Pierce Brosnan, I do think it's The World's Not Enough. And yeah, and Daniel Craig gets Skyfall. Out of all of those, might be Skyfall with Goldfinger as the second runner-up. I think mine is okay. Do you have a Steam account or Discord account? No, I don't. Think mine. Okay, number 13. Think mine is on this opinion. I think Adam Scott should play you in the movie or Zachary Levi. I'm gonna be honest. Politics are politics. It's fine. You're able to only to have reviews. I have been a little turned off by Zachary Levi a little bit as of late. He has said some kind of stupid things. And I don't think now Adam Scott does look a little bit more like me than I think Zachary Levi does. But yeah, between those two, I might lean more towards Adam Scott. Question 14: If you have a power of time in which one will go to the past and the future, which movies you like to sing it for me at least in the what? Dude, I don't know what you're saying. I'm sorry. If you have a power of time, to which one will you go to? The past or the future? Which movies you like to sing it for me? At least the 80s and 90s and pyramids? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what that question is supposed to be. Bonus question 15. Could the Powerpuff Girls survive the Rage Village? Yeah. There's no way, there's nothing in that world that would hurt the Powerpuff Girls. I mean, they've never been nuked as far as I know, and we don't have nukes anyway. Number 16. Which time machine would you like to have in real life? The DeLorean from Back to the Future, TARDIS from Doctor Who, phone booth from Bill and Ted, which is just a knockoff of that. Which one would you have? Probably the TARDIS. It's actually it's an actual living space. Extra question. God, dude, you just don't go bonus. Just keep numbering them. Extra question. Which Cartoon Network could survive Art the Clown? Okay. Powerpuff Girls survive them. Dexter survives them. Mordecai and Rigby, Toon Force maybe. Finn and Jake, Toon Force. Billy and Mandy got Grim on their side. They're not going to die. Codenames Kids Next Door, probably screwed, honestly. Actually, that's not true. They still got weird weapons, so they might be fine. Courage will survive. Johnny Bravo might be the only one who's actually dead. Mac and Boo's imaginary. Ed and Eddie, they're probably dead too. And Ben 10 easily beats him. A one that will probably eat it at 10. There will probably survive. I don't know what you're saying. I'm sorry, guys. Grammar is so important. I know for some of you guys, English is not a second language. I know that, but you can look at other people's comments and look at how something is structured. So I'm just pointing that out. Could Fox Mulder and Dana Scully Batman? Could they what Batman? And Shane and Ryan from BuzzFeed Unsolved, and Sam and Dean Winchester from Supernatural replace Ella from Death Note. Okay, could any of these guys solve the light case? Batman, probably. Not Kobe and Mulder. No, they'd be dead. Sam and Dean would also unfortunately be dead. That's just unfortunate. Assuming that Chuck isn't saving their asses, they're dead. And you already asked me if I like Sabrina Carpenter or Billie Eilish music. Okay. Brandon Myers, what is your favorite Dragon Ball character? Probably Piccolo or Beerus. Piccolo or Beerus. Bobby Reynolds, one of three. Have you ever played a game or played another game that looks similar and your brain thinks that you're still playing the same other game? No, I've never done that. What if you're watching a movie, Rambo or Godzilla, and all of a sudden you got switched, Rambo, Godzilla in the real world, saying what's going on here while you're in the TV doing their part, and complete them before you see the end of the credits. I'm sorry, you're asking what if I'm watching Rambo or Godzilla, and then I switch with them, so they're freaking out in the real world. I'm trying to finish the movie for them. If I'm Godzilla, at least I've now got all of Godzilla's abilities, if I can figure out how to actually do the atomic breath, what it feels like, then even like Mechagodzilla, I'm like, okay, boom, 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 start to like just working the body, take off the head, boom, point blank. I mean, it would still be difficult, but not impossible. 3, would it be cool if they did an R-rated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie with Raphael and make him the troll version of Rambo? I know we're getting Last Ronin with Michelangelo. Is that what we're getting? I mean, I know we're getting Last Ronin, but are we getting it with Michelangelo? Is that what that story is? I mean, I know with Last Ronin, but I thought that was Donnie or Raph, not Michelangelo. I mean, an R-rated turtle would be interesting back to their origins. Thomas Butterfield, what do you think the strongest physical feat in Bleach and Naruto is? Okay, the strongest physical feat in Bleach, because we're not talking about sheer raw abilities and power. We're talking about sheer raw abilities. It's Yamamoto. But we're talking about raw physicality. Io Ryatsu can enhance your strength, sure, but raw physicality. It's the Kenpachi Meteor feat. There's never been a feat on a raw physical level like that in Bleach to date. With Naruto, that's a bit trickier. That is a bit trickier for raw physicality. Though I would say it's probably Madara's Susanoo feat. Yeah, because he's literally like cleaving mountains. So that's probably the strongest raw physical feat we saw from Naruto. Okay, Clark Kent, it's a pleasure to be here. Before we get started, let me introduce I'm Clark Kent, reporter. Well, thank you, Clark Kent. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. You're interviewing me. The battle of wits in anime. As a journalist, it's in my fair share of most intense interviews, world sparring. When it comes to anime, some of the best battles aren't fought with fists, but sheer intellect. In your opinion, what are some of the greatest mind games in anime history between two or more brilliant characters? Aizen and Urahara come to mind. They're very because Urahara ultimately played Aizen in the end. It's like, you son of a bitch! It's like, yeah, no, I knew you would get out of there, so I placed the Keto underneath the Keto. And then I just waited for you to get weak. That's a good one. But between two characters, that is a little difficult. I haven't watched as much anime as you guys think I have. Wonder Woman in Dragon Ball Z. Now here's this one. If Wonder Woman found herself in Dragon Ball universe, would she be able to harness ki like the others? I don't really see why not. Now you do ask the question because of her somewhat godlike heritage, because she accessed God ki instead. The answer is maybe. Yeah, and it's entirely possible. So yeah, I think so. Maybe. What if Goku was raised by Starfleet? He'd probably become. He'd be a great soldier, but not a great. He's not book smart, so I think him trying to learn how to fly ships and stuff would be a little difficult. Even though he should, in theory, know how to fly a Saiyan ship. Doctor Doom in the Wizarding World. How much of a threat does he pose? He whoops the ass of everyone in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Like the type of magic you get in Harry Potter is child's play compared to what you get in things like the Marvel and DC worlds and comics in general, and in anime really, because most magic has to be done with a wand. If you're not using wandless magic, it's very rare in Harry Potter. For someone like Zatanna or Doctor Doom or Doctor Strange, that's a regular Saturday. Captain America and the Boys. Would Captain America still be a charismatic, influential figure we know, or would he clash violently with someone like Homelander, or is there a much darker aspect? If we're getting legit Captain America, there's clashing. And unfortunately, he would not win in a fight. I think I did a video on that one point. He would not win in a fight with Homelander. He's too strong. Soldier Boy is essentially the bastardized version of Captain America. Dark What If, Mr. Sinister and Deku. This one is a bit unsettling. What if Mr. Sinister, one of the most notorious genetic manipulators in the X-Men universe, was Midoriya's father? Maybe. It's an interesting what if, but that's a what if. I'm not going to answer a what if in this. We've been through this, guys. We've been through this so many times. Who's the greatest scientist among these gun fiction? Mr. Sinister is good. Silo Pornogrons really isn't that big of a scientist. Mayuri is very much, right now I'd say Mayuri, between your two options, because he just does so much weird shit. And so much, like, he literally formed a clone to avoid the Book of the End ability. That's like weirdly specific and quite powerful. Orochimaru, though, is quite interesting. Orochimaru's not that impressive as a scientist at the end of the day. Yeah, he developed things, but in terms of a scientist, he could create a clone, sure, but so can Mayuri. If I can do that multiple times over with no problems. Agent Bishop, don't know who that is. Rudolph or Rudy Connors, robot. Oh, Invincible, don't. Oh, him. Nah, he's good. Honestly, the minute though you said Dr. Robotnik, it's got to be Dr. Robotnik. That's his. It's the sheer magnitude of his creations that really kind of work. Ultimate Evil AI Showdown. Who wins? Skynet? All right. Am. I have no mouth and I must scream. I don't know what that one is. Hal. Hal is an. Okay, who's the. I'm sorry. It's not who wins. Who's the most compelling and dangerous? Outright terrifying? Not Samantha, not Ava, not Roy Beatty, not the Cylons are kind of screwy. Not Ed 209, definitely. Not Otto from Wally. Ultron, I'd say it's the toss-up between Skynet, Ultron, and Hal. Because these are all characters that would literally we created them and they would kill, and we would be the instruments of our own destruction. And we'd have no one to blame ourselves. Sci-fi's most terrifying villains. Among these legendary figures, which do you think is the most terrifying? Oh, God. Okay. Khan? No. Terminator? David? Definitely creepy. Immortan? No. Koba? No. Kind of scary, but no. The Colonel? No. Xenomorph? Pretty scary. Predator? Yeah, because he's going to hunt me. Dr. Zaius? No. The Shimmer is not... The Shimmer's scary in a different way. Baron Harkonnen, no. Ultron, kind of. Vader, definitely. Sidious and Vader definitely got some scare to him. And terrifying. Roy Beatty, not really. Hal, yes. The Thing, ooh, that's up there. Thanos and Agent Smith. I'd probably lean towards something that we can't reason with is the most terrifying. So it's got to be either The Thing or maybe Hal. Because Hal you really can't reason with. Thanksgiving with horror icons. Let's lighten the mood. If you want to invite one horror movie / the Thanksgiving cookout, who would be? And more importantly, who would be absolute disaster at the dinner table? Slasher? Assuming, you know what? Fuck it. Hannibal Lecter, as long as you are well-mannered and respectable, he'll respect you right back. Now, granted, don't eat any of the food he brings if there's meat in there, but I'd have him there. As absolute disaster, probably Leatherface, to be honest. Although, no, it'd be Jason, because he just doesn't care. Or Michael Myers. The worst neighbors in fiction. Out of all these, who would you not want as your next door neighbor? Okay, I did vet this one. It's the Turners, they're fine. The Smiths, they can be a bit of a problem, but whatever. The Freemans, I don't watch the Boondocks. The Marshes, hold. The Murphys, they're fine. The Simpsons, they're fine. The Griffins, they can be problematic. The Archers, not really. I don't watch Squidbillies. The Smiths, honestly, just stay out of the way. The Belchers, Bosmer, no, they're fine. The Pickles, no, they're good. Fire Nation Royal Family, bunch of assholes, but fine. The Horsemans, whatever. The McCormicks, white trash, but they don't do anything wrong. The Hills, honestly, that'd be fine. Conservative, but whatever. And the Ventures, no, hands down, it's the Marshes. I don't know why the creators did this to Randy down the road in the series, but they made him so unlikable. I'm just waiting for all this integrity bullshit with him to implode so hard. They just made him such an asshole of a person when he was more just kind of a regular guy who was kind of weird, like the rest of it. Now they just made him the complete dipshit, and I hate him and what he did to his family. So no, Randy's an asshole. Fuck Randy. Okay, CJM, stands or personas? Yes, you can use personas in the real world in this scenario. Actually, they in theory act the same. So, but only other stand users can see other stand users stands unless you have extrasensory perceptions, which personas wouldn't. But in terms of like what they're capable of doing, personas can be, I think, a little bit more flexible. So I'll go personas. Luke Zilla, who would win? We've already been on this, but Rumpelstiltskin, Once Upon a Time versus Voldemort. I'd have to see more going to more Rumpelstiltskin do, but Voldemort, just the killing curse alone. And he's got the Horcruxes, so even if Rumple does try to kill him, there you go. Diego Lorenta, this is kind of a bizarre question to ask. If He-Man from the Masters of the Universe ever returned to Death Battle, who should he face off against? The options are Thor, Captain Planet, Shazam, Link, Optimus Prime, Mattel, Battle Royale. Extra bonus, who'd you rather work for, SCP or the Men in Black? Men in Black. SCP is not a safe place to work. So with that being said, I think if you were to do one of these, it's got to be Thor. Mattel Battle Royale, I don't care. Optimus Prime doesn't really work. Link, yeah, has a sword, but it doesn't really transform. Shazam transforms with a word, but doesn't really work the same way. But Thor doesn't transform, but he does have his catchphrase, by Odin's, for Odin for Asgard, and he has a specific weapon similar to He-Man. He-Man also can go toe-to-toe with Superman temporarily because his abilities are magic-based. Horrible Drawer. Would you rather have superhuman stats or hacks, assuming you have full control? Stats or hacks? Hacks, probably. Superior eyesight, smell, all that hacks, probably. How much money would you have someone, how much money would someone have to offer you to shave your head? How much you got? My hair will grow back. It's a matter of how much someone's willing to offer me. It's got to be, I would say this. For me, it's got to be at least above $1,000. And it's like $1,001. No, be serious. Making me an offer. But no, I don't have a line for that. Who do you put money on more times than not? Someone super speed or agility, or someone superior offenses and defenses? Assuming the gap is consistent in each stat. The problem is that's a immovable object against an unstoppable force, because if they got superior defenses, then the person with that speed isn't going to be able to hurt them very well. But then the guy with the durability and strength isn't going to be able to tag the speedster. I would say because you can get away with some more speeds, like creating tornadoes with speed, I'll go with speed over power. What is your least favorite movie from your favorite genre? And favorite movie from your least favorite genre? My least favorite genre is, honestly, religious-based films, and I don't really have an answer for that. The best I could say is maybe Hacksaw Ridge, because it's a faith-based character, but not a religious film. In terms of my favorite genre is still like, science fiction, superheroes, all that. My least favorite film out of that entire genre, the entirety of it, I don't know for certain, honestly. Sorry about that. I don't know if I have. Maybe Catwoman. Even then, there's bad rewatchability with it. Power to 99. Will you ever do One Piece what ifs? I'm gonna be honest. Unless I start to watch series, and we're gonna do a tracking shot because I don't want to have to restart this video. Okay, and we're moving. Okay, so I don't want to. If there's a YouTuber who does the whole who the big three, we the big three. You've probably seen his clips, and they're always obviously there's a lot of stuff that says One Piece is like the biggest of the big three. I'm gonna be flat out honest as I turn my white noise machine off here so I can, because I use that to go to sleep. And we're gonna turn the light on. There we go. I'm gonna be flat out honest with you guys here. I don't hate One Piece, but I don't love One Piece. Just because you didn't end doesn't mean you're better. Oh God, what the heck just happened? Okay. So anyway, Anyway, just because you didn't have the good sense to end at some point doesn't make you better than the other two. And its world is vast, but maybe it's the animation style I never gelled with, in either the anime or the manga. But I've never really been into One Piece. There's stuff I like about it, like obviously we're doing the One Piece deck of What If, with the Devil Fruit. I'm not saying I am against One Piece, not at all. But a What If set in that world is probably not on the table anytime soon, because I would actually have to read the manga to like know what's going on. So no. Okay, King Shao again. King, we've been over this. If you're gonna give that don't expect an actual real in-depth answer. Gianoro Giovanna versus Beerus. In terms of like straight raw level of power, Beerus is stronger and can do existence erasure. Should be able to actually, with Ki and his extrasensory abilities, be able to sense the stand. So that's not an issue. But I will be honest, it's a little hard to say because if I remember correctly, Giannordo can kind of negate existence erasure to a certain degree. But I don't know. I'd lean towards Beerus because he is the overall like power-wise stronger of the two. Ribbit, what's your honest opinion on AI getting smarter? Do you think we're going to have a real-life Skynet? Here's the problem with AI for me. It's not AI as a whole. Because AI is just like anything else. It is a tool. We can use this tool as we see fit. The problem is simply the abuse of the tool. And right now that's what we're seeing in the entertainment industry a lot. Now, as far as like our everyday things, I have a feeling we've put enough safeguards in to prevent anything like that from happening. Like, for example, when there was that robot that was like said, okay, learn about humanity from Twitter, and it just focused on all the hate and just like they had to shut her off and turn her back on. So I don't. Do I think we're gonna be in a real life Skynet scenario where it just like activates nuclear codes and tries to blow us out of existence? No, I don't think we are. Do we still have to be careful with AI? Absolutely. There is, yeah, no. So yeah, do I think AI is a bad thing on its own? No. Do I think we need to be careful how we utilize AI? Absolutely, we do. Diego Lorente, one more extra question for you, no problem. The SCP Foundation successfully contains the inhabitants of the Kids Network. The inhabitants of Kids Network. The inhabitants in question are Nickelodeon. Is this what this is? Yeah, I think you meant to say Nickelodeon, not Kids Net. Is it called Kids Network now? SpongeBob, Timmy, basically all of the no, Kids Networks, because I see Ben 10 in here also. Okay, I'm not going to read through all of these. All Kid Networks here. Ever considered joining them or be a scientist, an agent of the D class, or they probably just join the 05. Are you asking if any of these characters are going to join the SCP Foundation? Is that what you're asking? Because there's no way on God's green earth they're containing Ben. He can just Alien X or whatever and just get out of there. In fact, he can jailbreak the entire group if they're actually contained. Successfully contained? I don't know. I'm certain a lot of the scientific ones will join the SCP. But again, them trying to lock down the Omnitrix is going to be a problem. And the Powerpuff Girls to boot. Like, they have nothing to keep those girls contained. They'd have to use another SCP to keep them contained. So, yeah, I'm assuming that's what you're asking. All right. So we're near the end here. All right. And Diego Yose asked a couple other questions, so I'm going to get through these real quick. Okay. Clockwork Calendar. Which clown or Joker wannabes? You have to take down. Okay. You get for $1 billion. Which ones do I choose to try to take down? Trevor Phillips. Hold on, Trevor Phillips. Isn't that from GTA? Pennywise. Oh, Trevor Phillips. Real quick. Isn't that from Grand Theft Auto? Yeah, that's from Grand Theft Auto. Pennywise. Rob from Amazing World of Gumball. William Afton. Okay, who the hell is William Afton? 1 second here. William Afton. Is this the purple? Oh, this is from Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay. Junko Enoshima. One moment. Checking that too. Junko Enoshima. I don't know who this is. Mastermind leader of the ultimate despair, Junko is a highly intelligent, cunning, somewhat violent, blah, 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 blah. Okay, there's that one. Jevil, I don't know who that is. Stitches from Sky High. Jurassic, wait, what? Is that a different question? Jurassic World Dominion from Freddy Krueger. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me be sure I am reading this right. Which clown or Joker wannabes you have to take down, you get $1 billion. Trevor, Pennywise, Rob from the Amazing World of Gumball, William Afton, Junko, Jevil, Stitches from Sky High. I'm sorry. Are you saying the Gigantosaurus from Jurassic World Dominion qualifies as a Joker wannabe or like a T-Rex wannabe or clown? I think Freddy Krueger is neither of those either. Skyfall Silver, Wonderful Green Gown, the Owl House Collector. Okay, I think you really need to understand your definition of clown or Joker wannabe. Like, the Giganotosaurus does not qualify under this. Was it poorly utilized in the movie? Sure. But does it qualify as a clown or Joker wannabe? No, it does not. Neither does Ralph Silver. Ralph Silver is one of the best villains in James Bond. Yeah, he's very kind of not bubbly, but he's very, what I call him, flirtatious? Sure, for sure. He's very, I wouldn't even call him effeminate. What would I call him? He's got a lot of personality to him, but he's not one of those. So okay, I'll take either Trevor Phillips just because he's a regular person, or Pennywise because he's been beaten before, and I can just, as long as I'm not scared of him, I'm fine. I really think you need to understand what your definition of what you just said is. Goosebumps has a canon foreign villain in the multi-part episode Chillology called Carl Nave. Gravity Falls. Oh, wait a minute. No, you're still going on, aren't you? Dude, there's too many of these here. Okay, Gnarl Nave. Okay. Gravity Falls, Bill Cipher. Yeah, I know who Bill Cipher is. Wander Over Yonder, the boy Wander. Jeff the Killer, Laughing Jack. Are You Afraid of the Dark? The Tale of the Ghastly Gunner. Maybe I'll take him on just so I can punch something in the face. That or Trevor, I can punch too. Granted, Trevor's kind of a nutball, but still. John Sims, incarnation of the Masters from Doctor Who. John Sims. Is this who I'm thinking of, by the way? Who, the Tennant era master? John Sims. Hold on. Paste. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, he only got really weird near the end of that. Yeah, I agree with, like, that was weird, but yeah, no. Okay, look, so I'm gonna go with, first off, that's way too many suggestions. Second off, half of those do not belong in this list whatsoever. Why is Bill on this list? This Bill makes no sense for this. Which clown or Joker wanted? That makes no sense. Okay. What's your honest opinion if they ever direct a SCP Foundation movie very similar to Men in Black mixed with the X-Files and Indiana Jones? Are you afraid of Dark Cabin in the Woods? Who would be in the director and any good for me? At least imagine if Sam Raimi. Okay. If not him, how about the creator? Okay, so any good director. Now there are directors that have their own sensibilities, yeah. But with the SCP Foundation, you do need to go darker. So someone who's got a better grasp on the horror nature is definitely a good option. But also who's got a grasp on humor, because some SCPs are just downright adorable. So that would be my best answer. I am really sorry, by the way, that I'm not answering as best I can. But I'm not trying to be mean again when I say this, but dude, you really need to vet your own questions a little bit, because I can't read half of this. The grammar is just not. This just doesn't work. Sorry. Okay, so the Master of Gaming. I'm down to my last three people. Asked 1 of 4. Why did you delete your previous box office videos? Before 2024, barring a few exceptions, I also enjoyed watching some of them, like the week before Redeeming Love came out. Well, because the reason I did that, is to clear room on the channel. Just so people don't have to keep scrolling. And by the way, I need it. That reminds me, I should get ready to delete the 2024 ones. I'm glad you liked going back to revisit them, but the truth is, very, very, very few people would go to revisit those. Because they're time sensitive. They're only good for about they're only relevant for about the first week, and then the next week comes. The next week comes. The relevance is very minimal, is what I'm trying to get at. So there's actually unlike something like one of my Who Wins or my by the way, I got rid of the other I got rid of some of my reviews only because very few people watch them, and I doubt other people would go to watch them. Even if I gained like 10,000 more subscribers tomorrow, I really doubt maybe people would go through every single one of those videos. So they're really just taking up room and things along those lines. So I just felt like, no, I'm gonna do a little bit of editing. And I'm sorry if it bugs you, but that is the decision I made. I am going to stick with that. I will be consistent with like keeping only the videos of the year around. Now at the end of February, I probably will actually go about deleting those. Okay. Number 2, why don't you like Angel Studios? Referring to your last box of Zio where you mentioned Rule Breakers. Okay. I'm going to assume you may have, I'm going to assume you're maybe someone of faith, which is fine, because you have a tendency of asking me these questions more often than other people do. I did not straight out say I didn't like Angel Studios. I did say I straight out don't like PureFlix, and you've asked me that, and I did explain why I don't like PureFlix. What I did say though was I'm probably not going to be going out of my way to see Angel Studio movies, because I call them PureFlix Lite. They're a better version of PureFlix. They are still focusing on a lot of religious bases, a lot of religious like ideas and topics, but some of their movies aren't so. But when I saw the King of Kings trailer and it was Angel Studios, I'm like, okay, because that movie just doesn't look, first off, it doesn't look well animated. And it's just like, okay, well, here's the story of Jesus. I don't really care, unfortunately. But yeah, it's not that I hate them. I don't hate them. Or it's not even I dislike them. That's not my style of going to see a movie. That's not my type of movie. The only faith-based movies I go see are movies where faith is a part of the character, not a part of the story, if you get what I mean. Again, this is why I use Hacksaw Ridge as an example. That character's faith is integral to who that character is, but it is not integral to the story. I am not being preached at by a movie. This guy has his religion. He's not forcing it on anyone else. It's all good. He's not demonizing anyone else for not having that faith. Whereas someone like PureFlix does that all the fucking time. Angel Studios, as far as I know, doesn't do that, but I'm also just not looking for something that's based on faith, personally. Because I have a lot of issues with organized religion. I really do. I think faith itself is good. We're going on a different tangent, but I think faith itself is good. I think everyone needs to have faith in something, be it a higher power or humanity, spirituality, whatever, because I think it grounds us in the here and now. I think it gives us the purpose, and it gives us kind of that extra reason to just be better to each other. But my problem is when you start defining yourself by religion and nothing else. When you say, I will not let a child get blood transfusions because my religion says that. If you don't, he'll die. No, not if it's God's will. I'm like, if your God wills your child to die when you could have stopped it, that's not on God's hands, that's on you. Did you not think that God gave us free will and invented this medical care to help your child? When people like put their beliefs over their family and the well-being of their children, that's where I'm like, no, done. You're terrible people. You don't care about your kid. You care about your faith. That's all you care about. Yeah. So yeah, I don't like watching religious-based films. It's just my general gist. Now, I'm not saying all of Angel Studios films are religious-based. I'm not saying that. But they do tend to at least have themes of it that I'm like, I'm not really here for it. Okay. Number 3, how come you did a better job selling Alex Garland's Civil War from A24 and the actual movie? I'm guessing you meant then the actual movie itself. You got me. I don't think I did a good job selling that movie. Because I'm just like, I don't think maybe it's because I was so openly like, this is not the right time for this movie. Now, granted, they could not have planned for what was going on in our country at the time to be happening when that movie came out. But still, I'm like, this is just feels in bad taste. And maybe me saying that caused more, if it did anything, made more people interested because like, is it bad taste? Oh my God, we gotta watch this. So yeah. Okay, and 4. Why don't moviegoers go see uplifting, inspirational, faith-based films in theaters like Unbreakable Boy nowadays? Okay, so this all comes down to personal preference. I've already explained why I don't usually go see that. But it could be that some people share my idea, like, I don't need preaching to me, and unfortunately, a lot of faith-based films have a tendency to be preachy, and I just don't want to deal with that. You also get a certain amount of people who are dedicated to their faith, and maybe this doesn't align with that, and they don't want to deal with it. Perhaps they're also worried that it's not going to do a service to their faith or their beliefs. That's entirely possible too. I think though, and I can't speak to anyone else, I can just speak for myself, but I can at least try to articulate what I think maybe it is that it leans a bit more towards my way, that we've seen, especially in like the last decade or so, how ugly faith can be something. Faith, like I said, I think it's important everyone has faith in something, belief in something. I'm not saying you have to pray or do worship or prayer, but just to have faith and belief in something, I think is important. But it's also important that you understand that has to be and it's okay to spread the word, but it's different. But there's a difference between spreading the word of what you do, like spreading the word of Jesus Christ, and then shoving it down your throat with a fist. It's like, you're gonna go to hell because of this and this. Like, okay, to poke holes, and you know what? We're here, gonna poke holes in logic. Okay. Now, I have not read the Bible really at any extensive length, and maybe it's now. First off, the whole idea that the man should not lay with a man as they would another woman. Okay. Well, to tell you this, those 2 gay guys are not doing that. What are you talking about? They're having sex with each other. Yeah. They're not reproducing. See, they're not. He's not laying with a man as he would a woman. But that's not what it means. I'm sorry. What do you think it means? Because I could find you 5 people who could interpret any number of things in the Bible differently. You want to know? Well, you want to go again with that? Okay, let's go again with that. We are allegedly created in God's image. Is that correct? Then God is both black, Asian, Mexican, Spanish, Indian, Pakistani, and everything in between, if we are all created in God's image. And say, well, no, because no, that's what you said. We're all God's children, which means God is also the utmost LGBTQ individual in all of creation. So God has a vagina and a penis. I'm sorry. The problem is with like organized faith is that everyone is so many people are insecure. That is partly what attracts people to faith. Faith is not inherent. Faith is learned. Faith is taught. And then you develop your belief in this as you go on. That's why they try to indoctrinate you early. You're raised in a house of this faith. We have these beliefs, so forth and so on. You don't just wake up believing that. You don't get popped out of your mom and you believe that. But the problem is so much insecurity exists out there that if someone doesn't coincide with that belief, you feel like it threatens your belief system when it doesn't. That person is just different from you. And we've just seen more and more people just can't accept that for whatever reason. And they hope that this country is going to move towards the right way or whatever. And hence, like women's rights issues, that's not a religious or government-based issue. That's a public health issue. That is a personal health issue for women's rights. That is autonomy over them, not your autonomy over them. They should have autonomy over themselves. And that, by the way, separation of church and state, that means religion has no bearing in the voting process. So if you're voting because of your religion, you're not voting for the right reasons. You're voting because you're selfish. And I think religion right now turns a lot of people off. So when faith-based films come out and they're talking about this faith and all this, I think a lot of people just don't want to deal with that. I know I'm not really one of those people who wants to deal with it, but at the same time, I can't argue against someone who still believes in their faith, who still goes to these movies. I'm not going to argue against that. If those movies work for you, great, wonderful. If Pureflix works for you, enjoy. I'm not going to like hate on you for enjoying it. Just don't try to preach a sermon. I literally had a person at my job one day, because come in with her brother, I think it was. He goes, I sense you're an atheist. It's like, sorry, why? It's like, oh, then it's like, well, no, I'm reborn because, and I want everyone to get into heaven. And she just goes, whew, and like, and I could see and I'm just trying to help them find some dog food. And I'm just like, uh-huh. And I could see her brother kind of looking at me like, I am sorry about that. It's like, so watch this, pastor, all this, blah, 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 blah. Like, great, wonderful. Like, see, that's where it's like, look, I'm glad you found faith. I'm glad you're happy because you found faith. That's not me. That's not a lot of people. So please don't feel offended or upset that we're not going to suddenly be preaching the word of God or anything like that. That's sorry. Anyway, that's my long-winded answer on faith. Why I don't think moviegoers are really don't go see these types of films. By the way, uplifting inspirational faith. I don't know if Unbreakable Boy is a faith-based film. I don't believe it is, but uplifting and inspirational films. Wonka's an uplifting and inspirational film. I mean, there are other. I could probably, if I had to stop and think for a second, think of other uplifting inspirational films people went to see. It's just, if you're coinciding that with faith, then that's my answer. But there are other there are other inspirational films people go to see. Yeah. All right, and the last one before my voice is starting. My voice is only now just starting to get a little hoarse. Darth Vader asked, the air grows thick, the hum of machines fills with silence, the breathing steady, calculating. What did I just click? Okay, we're good. Calculating, unforgiving. I've been informed that you have rejected the Empire's most generous invitation, a most regrettable decision. Ordinarily, such defiance would with immediate consequences, a crushing grip to your throat, or perhaps more demonstrative use of the Death Star. And yet today, I'm feeling merciful. Well, thanks. You couldn't take me anyway, Vader, but thanks. Instead of punishment, I extend you a rare opportunity, the chance to prove your worth with this Q&A. Do not disappoint me. That be entirely at your discretion. It looks like it's going to be one of 12. Which of these so-called masterminds do you consider the most intelligent? Li Wu-jin, old boy. Arik Goldfinger. Okay, so they've even proven that plan would not have worked. Jigsaw, he does get away with a lot of that. Hans Gruber, right now I'd probably be leaning more towards Jigsaw. Lord Voldemort, no. Lex Luthor does outrank Jigsaw, definitely. Talented Mr. Ripley, nope. Verbal Kint, the usual suspects, nope. Vincent, Collateral, nope. Anton Chigurh, nope. The Joker, no. Hans Landa, nope. If we're talking about most intelligent, well, on raw intelligence, it's Lex Luthor based on everything he gained. There's also Professor Moriarty, John Doe from Silent Seven, and Hannibal Lecter. It's Lex Luthor. The guy could actually survive going into the Source Wall. That's how intelligent he is. If the so-called Dark Knight were to face an organization capable of outmaneuvering him in Gotham, which do you believe poses the greatest threat? Assuming one of these, all right. Hydra, they're more of soldiers and a militant force, so maybe. The Syndicate, Mission Impossible, no. The Umbrella Corporation, maybe. Just because it's of the not Blacklight virus, the T virus. Black Sun, I don't know what Black Sun is from Star Wars, unfortunately. Cobra Commander, so basically Cobra Command, again, militant force, so that would possibly work. And Wayland Yutani and Chaos from Get Smart, I don't think either of them. Bruce Wayne would be combating them as Bruce Wayne and Batman. So any corporation probably is a no-go. But Cobra Command and Hydra, because they're militant forces, would be the tougher of the two. Or would be tougher of this group. 3, what was the driving force behind the creation of your YouTube channel? What compels you to continue? the driving force, me and Mark wanted to talk about movies and hope that maybe we could do it for a living someday. Now, we need to figure out how to remonetize the channel. But what compels me to continue? I enjoy it. I enjoy talking about this. I enjoy making up stories. I enjoy doing hypotheticals and all that. I enjoy making Pokemon teams and all that. It's enjoyment, pure and simple. Do you rely on meticulous scripting for your what ifs videos, or do you trust your instincts as a Jedi once would? I'm definitely taking more to scripting. I did used to do it a lot off the top of my head, like just on the go, on the fly. But now what happens is I write it out and then just look at what I did. Because writing it out really just helps me put it in my mind, like keep it there. So I just write it out once and then I'm like, okay, and then I don't have it in front of me. Unless it's something like what I did with Gar last Sunday, where it was the tournament. Unless I did that. Or what was it, Wednesday? Whatever. Unless it was the preliminary rounds. If you had no 5. If you had no choice but to serve these organizations, which would you claim your allegiance? Okay. Genco, no. Videodrome, or Spectacular Optical, no. Izon, Cube, nope. The Corporation, the Stuff Corporation, God, no. The Ancient Ones, Cabin and Woods, nah. Engine, Dinosaurs are cool. Silver Shamrock Novelties, no. Umbrella Corporation, no. It's either Wayland Yutani because of cool sci-fi stuff or Engine. Yeah, I might risk getting eaten by a dinosaur, but I'm not going to, no. I doubt it. I'm not going to be stupid enough to say, no, you can fire me right now. If you could wield power beyond mortal comprehension, which system would you choose? The Force, the Morphing Grid, evolution through Digimon. So wait, hold on. I just want to be clear about what you're saying with that. You're saying I can digivolve myself? Interesting. What do I do? I'm Bretmon, Digivolve 2, Clockwork Mon, which is actually, I think, a Digimon. Okay, well, it's definitely not that. Chakra, Fusion from Fusion Shadow Hearts. I don't know what that one is. Ryatsu, Kekkei Genkai's Naruto, Spiral Power from Gurren Lagann, and Life Fires from Kill la Kill. See, if you hadn't brought the Gurren Lagann in there, I probably would have gone to Kekkei Genkai's, because you went plural, which means I can have multiple. But I know how insane the scaling gets for Gurren Lagann and with Spiral Power, so I probably would go with that. Although if there's no real point in me having that, then I'd actually lean more to Kekkei Genkai's. And if I can choose, like if I'm limited to a certain amount because you use plural, like I said, I'm just limited to 2. Believe it or not, I don't want to go Sharingan because we're going real world right now. And plus, I'd go blind if got a Mangekyo. But Rinnegan, because I already get a bunch of powers of that. And then Storm Release, because Storm Release is just cool. I like Storm Release. All right, which Nostalgia Critic Review skit do you find most amusing? Oh, God, that's a tough one. The original Cat in the Hat one is, I still rewatch that to this day. Also, Grandma got run over by a reindeer when he did the snow, and I fell Christmas. Like that's peak nostalgia. That's him at his best. There's a good couple of them. Yeah, absolutely. And the skits, I mean, that still has you're right. That did feel good. Hey, Jesus. All right. Tell me, do you believe Sosuke Aizen would overcome a fully prepared Batman DC Comics, or would he fall like so many others before him? Oh, the question is, Batman would have to figure out a way to not get caught by Kyoka Suigetsu. That's what he'd have to figure out. Because if we're talking about Aizen, you're not giving me a specific time frame. So we're talking about full-powered Aizen, 1,000-year blood work and beyond. This is a guy who's multiversal in power. So, the problem is, unlike someone like Superman and a lot of Justice League who have exploitable weaknesses, Aizen doesn't. Aizen is also arguably just as smart, if not smarter, than Batman. God. Is it impossible? If he can avoid Kyoka Suigetsu, and that's a big, big if, maybe he could overcome it. Because Aizen also has a level of immortality, too. He can literally regenerate. So, maybe, but that's a character. The reason Batman wins with prep a lot of times is because you usually can exploit a character's weakness. But if a character doesn't have an exploitable weakness, then we have a problem there. All right, Spawn. image from Spawn existed in the world of Bleach, what form of the Zanpakuto take? Well, now you're asking me to do a Zanpakuto creation video. My guess is, see, I'd have to do Al Simmons Zanpakuto before doing Spawn's, because it's still Al, but he's a Hellspawn now. So I would imagine whatever his original Zanpakuto was altered. It probably has some sort of demonic trait or whatever to it. Yeah, I don't know exactly what it would be. It's not like it would have all the abilities of Lilith. No, that's not how Zanpakuto works. Although, because Lilith is kind of fused with him, Lilith of the Seventh Houses could take the form, or at least influence his Zanpakuto. So maybe his Zanpakuto would like create like hell chains or something like that, multiple chains like from just a point. Like he's got like just glowing portals over his fists, summoning out chains, maybe. All right. If you were a mutant in the Marvel Universe, which faction would earn your loyalty? Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, X-Men, Hellfire Club, X-Factor, Dark X-Men, Morlocks, Freedom Force, Marauders, Horsemen of the Apocalypse. It's got to be either the Morlocks or the X-Men, because I'm not an asshole. I'm not a mod. I would rather help people than hurt people. All right. Han Solo versus Captain Kirk. Who emerges victorious in a fight? Probably Han, because he'd shoot first. That's it. Now, yeah, technically Kirk's got better formal training, I guess, but still, Han shoots first. In a like a dog match, like the Enterprise versus the Millennium Falcon, the Millennium Falcon isn't going to be able to beat it in firepower, but it's far more maneuverable. So that's kind of a draw. If you were to serve in the United Federation's planet Starfleet, what position would you claim? Oh God, I have to remember every one of them. Maybe, honestly, I wouldn't mind being security officer. Or cook. I'll take cook. I have granted you this rare chest of secret redemption. Choose wisely and answer carefully. And remember, I find your lack of responses most disturbing. The mechanical breathing intensifies. The air grows colder. Darkness looms ever closer. Oh my, let me put on a light. Anyway, so yeah, that is the end of this this Q&A. Hey, we got another 2 hours. We're getting better. All right, awesome. Till then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one. I also got my who would win and my what if I got to upload, because I already did those previously, so I got no other videos to do. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you later.